Hi guys. Oh, hit that. Hi guys, it's Coach Robin with Journey to Fitness. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about tick prevention and information about ticks because ew, how gross. For me, I have a little puppy, Oliver. I'm sure you've seen him around. And I've never really had to deal with ticks on him until this year. Last summer, me and Emma came out one morning and we were just on the patio here and we saw like a little animal in the corner of the yard, and we went down. It was like a bunny, and it had all these like silver, it looked like it had been attacked and like was like pussing silvery. Anyway, it wasn't pus, it was ticks all over the poor thing, and they were disgusting and blown, like completely swollen and disgusting. So I didn't know what it was. I called my friend who rescues animals and asked him, and he said, yeah, I think it's ticks. And I'm like, no, it doesn't look like ticks. Like, what are you talking about? And then so I Googled it, and I was like, oh my God, it is ticks. That's so gross. And it was just covered in ticks. So that was my first even seeing ticks. And then last week, Jenna called me. She had taken Oliver to the park. She called me and said, I'm bringing Oliver home. He has a tick in his head. You have to deal with it. I have to go somewhere else after. And I'm like, wow. I was super tired. It was prom week, and I was just like mentally exhausted, and I was like having a panic attack because I never pulled a tick out before, and I didn't want to do it wrong. And of course, you hear all these things like if you leave the head in, it causes Lyme disease or whatever. So even though that's not necessarily the case, that's what I thought. So I was kind of having a panic. So I called my friend Selena, who owns Health Mutts, and she's kind of my go-to dog expert. So I was hoping that it was close to the time when her shop closes, and I thought maybe I'll get her on the way by, but she had passed my house already on the way back to her house. So she just talked me through it over the phone and managed to get it out. So anyway, now I'm totally grossed out, and I'm super like I want to be conscious about it. And I keep hearing people talking about their kids getting ticks and bringing their animals in and having like 15-20 ticks on them and stuff. So although this is not an area of my expertise, I did write a blog, and I pulled some information from Rodney Habib and Dr. Karen Becker and some other people online that have good, really interesting articles and information and recipes for tick prevention. Hi, Cindy. So yeah, so in my blog, I've got all the links and some information there, and I also have a recipe for a super simple tick prevention spray that you can make yourself, and it's made up of distilled water and witch hazel and an essential oil called rose geranium essential oil, and super easy, and I've read a lot of reviews of it online. Oh, good. That's my new phone, Chris. You guys, I got a new phone last night. I'm going to go live and talk about it another time because it's too crazy to go on this particular live, but what an experience getting our new phones. It was pretty crazy. I wasn't planning on getting a new phone, but it just worked out that way. So anyway, so yeah, so to make your own tick prevention spray, which I'm going to make for Oliver and use it around the yard just because I'm nervous. It's just, like I said, distilled water, witch hazel. I think you can also substitute vodka, but I don't know. I heard about that. And this rose geranium essential oil is supposed to really repel ticks. So there's a recipe for that in there. And some really good information. I included a video with Rodney Habib. If you guys don't know who Rodney Habib is and you have a pet, you should check him out. He has a page on Facebook. He's the owner of, I want to say Planet Paws, but I have all these names in my head because I just took my dog to the groomer today, and that's also something Paws. So I could be wrong, but I think it's Planet Paws. Dr. Becker, she's from the States, and she works a lot with Dr. Mercola, who's kind of my go-to on natural health stuff. And the wind's blowing my phone and making it, I thought I'd do it outside since I'm talking about ticks, but anyway. So yeah, so I Dr. Becker, Dr. Mercola are people I totally go to and trust for the information they're putting out. And so I have an interview with no, I don't have an interview. I have an interview with Rodney. I have an article written by Dr. Becker, and I have a few other articles and my own recipe there. So if you want to find out a little bit about tick prevention and information about ticks in general, then by all means, I will be posting my blog a little bit later once I add the video to it. And yeah. So I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll be going live and writing my blog again on Friday, and it'll be in the second installment of Coach Robin's organic must-haves. So this week it's probably going to be a little, what is that, an SFW, not suitable for work. I'm going to talk about feminine products. So if you don't want to hear me talking about periods at work, then maybe watch it later or catch it in the blog. But anyway, so yeah, so Friday, that's what I'll be talking about, and I hope you guys are having a really good week. And it's Coach Robin, and there goes Oliver. Can you hear that? We have a pheasant, a cocky little pheasant, a big pheasant now because he's been eating our seed for since it got even close to nice enough for him to come out. And he's over there clucking and being crazy, and Oliver just took off trying to chase him, but he's on a leash, so I'm gonna have to start using the harness so he doesn't choke himself when he does that. Anyway, that's my crazy life. So I will talk to you guys Friday when I go live about feminine products. It's very informative. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Bye. Bye, honey.